Those ETs from Andromeda are described by Alex Collier as having been direct descendants of the Lyrans who experienced some difficulty when first leaving the Lyran system due to predatory extraterrestrial races, but eventually settled in the Andromeda constellation in the star system Zeniti. Collier describes the nature of the Andromedans as follows: everything that they create technologically is used for the advancement of their race. It is for educational purposes only. But it can be used in defense. No, they do not have a military, per se, they are scientists. What they do is send their children to school anywhere from 150 to 200 years, in our linear time. They teach their students all of the arts and sciences. They are literally masters at everything. Then, at that point, they have the choice in what it is they want to do, and they can change their minds anytime and do something else. So, they are given all the tools. Everything is for education. Nothing is for distraction. They would never conceive of creating television as a distraction. Never. Everything is to help them evolve, and their science and their technology can be used for defensive purposes, mostly the holographic stuff. The most significant feature of the Andromedans is that they are instrumental in the Andromeda Council, which is a grouping of approximately 140 star systems who deliberate upon Earth. In a 1997 interview, Collier described the Council's deliberations as follows: now, in our galaxy there are many councils. I don't know everything about all those councils, but I do know about the Andromedan Council, which is a group of beings from 139 different star systems that come together and discuss what is going on in the galaxy. It is not a political body. What they have been recently discussing is the tyranny in our future, 357 years from now, because that affects everybody. Apparently what they have done, through time travel, is that they have been able to figure out where the significant shift in energy occurred that causes the tyranny 357 years in our future. They have traced it back to our solar system, and they have been able to further track it down to Earth, Earth's moon and Mars. Those three places. The very first meeting the Andromedan Council had was to decide whether or not to directly intervene with what was going on here. According to Morani, there were only 78 systems that met this first time. Of those 78, just short of half decided that they wanted nothing to do with us at all, regardless of the problems. I think it is really important that you know why they wanted nothing to do with us. We are talking about star systems that are hundreds of millions of light years away from us. Even some who have never met us. They just knew the vibration of the planet reflected those on it. The reasons why they wanted nothing to do with us is that from their perspective, Earth humans don't respect themselves, each other or the planet. What possibly can be the value of Earth humans? Fortunately, the majority of the Council gave the opinion that because Earth has been manipulated for over 5,700 years, that we deserved an opportunity to prove ourselves, to at least have a shot at proving the other part of the Council wrong. Another contactee who mentions the Andromedans is Adrian, who was extensively interviewed by researcher Sean David Morton and found to be credible. Adrian's testimony was supported by extensive photos, film and witness testimonies. According to Adrian, the Andromedans play an important role in forming councils that deliberate on Earth's future, thereby independently confirming Collier's testimony. The Andromedans are one of the main extraterrestrial races most responsible for crop circles. He argues that the crop circles are intended both to inspire humans with the possibility of extraterrestrial communications, and to warn negative extraterrestrials of the consequences of their actions to control and manipulate humanity. The Andromedans' chief activity appears to be facilitating decisions of the galactic community in dealing with difficult problems such as the current Earth situation, innovative strategies for resolving conflict, the education of youth and inspiring humanity with the possibilities of extraterrestrial contact. The global solutions they promote include assisting the growth of psychic crystal rainbow children, peace education, exposing elite manipulation, promoting improved global governance, and diplomacy and conflict resolution. Now, the next group of extraterrestrials are described as coming from Sirius, which is a binary star system that allegedly harbors advanced life around its two main stars, Sirius A and B. But our Dogan ancestors have recorded a low-mass red dwarf orbiting Sirius A. The existence of Sirius C is still debated by Western scientists. Sirius A is a blue-white star that is approximately 8.6 light-years from Earth, 20 times brighter than the Sun, and is the most brilliant star in the night sky. In contrast, Sirius B is a white dwarf sun that ranges between 8 to 32 astronomical units from Sirius A in a highly elliptical orbit. Collier describes the extraterrestrials from Sirius A as follows: there is a race of beings on Sirius A, the humans there are called the Katai. They are considered benevolent. Many of the human races there are red-skinned. Their ancestry is some of the first Lyrans that escaped with the women and children during the war. In their oceans they have whales, octopus and sharks. They are a race that is artistic. They have music and are connected to nature. They are builders and not very political. Their governments are based on spiritual technology, which uses sound and color. The racial characteristics of the Syrians suggest that they were originally colonists from Vega. If the Syrians were originally vegans escaping some cataclysmic interplanetary war in the constellation of Lyra, then it might well be understandable how they developed an interest in building, since the building of a new civilization on New World in the relative young star system of Sirius A would have been an urgent requirement. Collier refers to the Syrians using sound and color as a kind of spiritual technology which suggests that they specialize in terraforming planets and making them suitable for the evolution of life by altering the biomagnetic energy grid. The following telepathic communication provides more information on the Syrians as builders of new planetary structures in terms of altering the biomagnetic energy grid that assists the evolution of humans and other life forms. They are the original builders of your grid, the architecture on which your planet was based. So therefore they are useful in discerning the sacred geometry and discerning the physical laws of your home world. They can help you also in constructing the new grid, in constructing a new system that is appropriate for your next challenges. So we would say that the Syrians are excellent allies in the strategic design work that lies ahead. Alex Collier claims that the intervention of the Syrians A is due to mistakes made by those from Sirius B in terms of technology transfers and other forms of assistance given to humanity. My understanding is that those from the Sirius A system are trying to be beneficial and assist, because they feel responsibility and that those who colonized Sirius B system were originally from Sirius A. In conclusion, the main activity that can be attributed to those extraterrestrials from Sirius A is to assist in building a suitable ecological system for human evolution on Earth by altering the biomagnetic energy grid of the planet. Those from Sirius A can assist in global solutions such as environmental protection, promoting biodiversity, assist in consciousness raising, and evolution of the biosphere. The Ummites are described as extraterrestrials from the planet Ummo, which is claimed to be 14.6 light-years away, and possibly located in the star system Wolf 424. They played a significant role in disseminating scientific technical literature and objects through Spain and then relayed to the rest of Europe in the 1960s and 1970s from a hidden base near a small town in the French province of Basses Alpes, Lower Alps. The Ummites contacted a select number of individuals and distributed to them detailed technical information on different technologies and revolutionary theories that would expand scientific knowledge beyond the prevailing orthodoxies. The only physical contact the Ummites had with anybody, aside from phone calls and sending technical information by regular mail, was with a hired typist who described how he worked for and eventually discovered the identities of the Ummites. Between 1967 and 1975, the members of the Madrid group, Spanish UFO researchers aware of the Ummites, received a letter from a man who claimed to be the Ummites typist. Apparently, he had advertised for work in a newspaper and had subsequently been visited by two tall, fair-haired, respectable-dressed men. They told him that they were Danish doctors and asked if he could type out scientific material for them on a regular basis. Initially all went well, until the day he read the following sentence: "We come from a celestial body named Ummo, which is 14.6 light-years from the Earth." He took this at its face value and questioned the doctors. Eventually they admitted that they were not Danish doctors at all, but extraterrestrial visitors. To prove their identity, they produced a tiny sphere just an inch or so in diameter, which one of them placed in mid-air before the typist. He looked into it and to his amazement saw a scene that had taken place in that same office on the preceding day when his wife, fearing that the Danish doctors might be spies. There was however a well-recorded public event in the form of an Ummo spacecraft that landed near Madrid on June 10, 1967 that was announced by the Ummites several days before to a select group of UFO researchers. The Ummites' approach appears to be one of helping scientists develop innovative technologies and theories that assist in addressing global problems that require technical solutions. In 1973, due to the uncertainty over a nuclear war on Earth, the Ummites terminated their residence on Earth and departed. They subsequently sent the following message in 1980 to Dr. Antonio Ribera, one of the Spanish UFO researchers that had taken up their case. "For 30 years we have studied your science, your culture, history and civilizations. All this information we have carried from your Earth to Ummo in our titanium crystals codified with data. We have demonstrated to you our culture and our technology in purely descriptive form so you cannot convert them or realize them practically. We have done this because we note with sadness that you employ your sciences primarily for war and the destruction of your own selves, which continue as your principal objective. You are like children playing with terrible and dangerous toys which will destroy you. We can do nothing. A cosmic law says that each world must take its own path, to survive or to perish. You have chosen the second. You are destroying your planet, annihilating your species, and contaminating your atmosphere and your seas. Until now this is irreversible. With sadness we contemplate your insanity, and understand that the remedy is only in yourselves. We cannot look forward a great distance into your future because your psyche are completely unpredictable and capricious, bordering on paranoia. As your elder brothers in this cosmos, we urgently desire with all our hearts your salvation. Do not destroy your beautiful blue planet, a rare atmospheric world that floats so majestically in space, so full of life. It is your choice. While it cannot be known exactly how influential the Ummite's assistance has been since it was largely covert, it certainly appears to have been significant in sparking innovative scientific initiatives by a range of technically competent professionals and private citizens. It can be concluded that the Ummite's main activity lies in sharing technical information, transforming scientific culture, and global education. The Ummites can assist in global solutions surrounding the transformation of scientific paradigms, development of environmentally friendly technologies, and educational reform. Another extraterrestrial race that appears to be playing a significant role in human affairs is from the Alpha Centauri star system. Alex Collier claims the Alpha Centaurians are one of the races visiting the Earth. The most compelling testimony supporting the presence of the Alpha Centaurians is Elizabeth Klarer, who had high-level responsibilities within the British military to monitor UFO reports. Klarer was apparently contacted by the Alpha Centaurians and eventually taken to Alpha Centauri for a few months to have a child fathered by the Alpha Centaurian, Akon. Klarer's description of the Alpha Centaurians gives a vivid account of how technology can be wisely used to benefit both humanity and the ecosystem. The Alpha Centaurians were argued to be benevolent and genuinely desiring to assist humanity in dealing with its evolution. An alleged former employee of the covert Montauk and Philadelphia projects, Al Bielek, discussed a number of extraterrestrials including the Alpha Centaurians. Bielek's testimony is perhaps one of the most bizarre and controversial cases in UFO research, yet his testimony is coherent and consistent, and according to an independent investigator, John Quinn, Bielek is very credible and there is much evidence to support his claims. The Alpha Centaurians, according to Bielek, apparently provide a form of sanctuary and protection to humans that desire assistance in dealing with the repressive polices of the shadow government. Bielek stated the nature of this agreement with the Alpha Centaurians in an interview. There are shuttles regularly from this planet to Alpha Centauri 4, which by agreement is a safe haven for people wanted by the US government. There's a treaty. It takes about 12 hours to get them. Apparently, they took all of their family, which meant sisters, brothers, father, mother, whatever, with them. As far as I know, they're still there. Presumably the Alpha Centauri government runs the shuttle, but I don't know. But it's on a regular basis twice a week. The landing point, I have no idea where it is. Of course, they guard it secret. The body form of the Alpha Centauri are like humans, exactly the same. There's a much lower population on their planet. They're not overpopulated. They're an advanced civilization, a little ahead of us, not a great deal, but somewhat ahead of us. They don't like things like government head bashing and that sort of thing, and the way they treat some of the government agents they no longer have any use for or whatever. If they are approached, and I don't know how it's done, if they are approached and asked for asylum, if they issue the card, you just get on the shuttle and that's it, you're there. Beyond that I don't know. I haven't seen them since. This role of providing sanctuary to humans threatened by the shadow government indicates that the Alpha Centaurians are very interested in social justice and helping in the transition of Earth towards a more trusting and nurturing global society. This is a theme elaborated upon in the following telepathic communication from an independent source. Those from Alpha Centaurus have an open society, a trusting and loving one, so they would be useful to you as you begin to design the social rules for an alternative to a combative or competitive social structure. The main activity of the Alpha Centaurians can therefore be inferred as promoting social justice and human freedom, and the responsible use of advanced technology. The global solutions that can be promoted by the Alpha Centaurians include social justice at a global level, creating zones or peace sanctuaries, human rights and sustainable development. The final extraterrestrial race to be examined due to their significance are the Arcturians, who are described as once having seeded the Earth with their members and presumably peacefully coexisted with other races. According to Andrews, in antiquity this planet was divided into sectors among 4 different groups: blondes, greys, large lizard-like beings from the Capella system, and beings from the Arcturus system. Andrews goes on to describe the Arcturians as currently playing an observer role in the current battle between extraterrestrial groups over Earth and her population. Collier describes the Arcturians as also being one of the races interacting with the Earth and that they are trying to help. According to the contactee Adrian, the Arcturians are the extraterrestrial race most responsible for crop circles. He argues that the crop circles are intended both to inspire humans with the possibility of extraterrestrial communications, and to warn negative extraterrestrials of the consequences of their actions to control and manipulate humanity. A more detailed description of the Arcturians is given by Collier. This group of beings settled in the constellation of Arcturus. These races of humanity are very private, and for very specific reasons do they get involved with Earth. They think of themselves as healers. They carry a strong pride of technology in the arts of physical healing, and emotional and spiritual bodies. They have been known to intervene in the ancient past to help resolve very serious conflicts in our area of the universe by sharing their unique ability to show others how to integrate their belief systems and feelings to resolve conflict. They can be very silent, and can and will keep very much to themselves. They as a group, have done much to help raise the overall levels of consciousness in our universe. Most information on the Arcturians comes from those claiming to have telepathically communicated with them. For example, Dr. Norma Milanovic in her book, We, the Arcturians, describes her communication with the Arcturians through a form of computer-aided automatic writing. She claims the Arcturians are here to assist Earth as it enters a new age of spirituality. They cannot interfere with the free will or decision-making process of any Earthling, but are here to educate and help raise the vibrations of all who choose to journey to the new dimension the Earth is entering. The Arcturians are described as having a highly developed spiritual culture and technological sophistication that gives them great influence in the galaxy. Another individual who telepathically communicates with the Arcturians claims they have the following mission on Earth. The Arcturians are the overall guides or administrators of the contact experience. They have a desire generally to see this go well. To see you learn as much as possible by this process and to assist you in any way they can. However, their affinity is to the future of the planet as a whole, and they tend to have a hands-off approach as much as possible. They will tend to do the least amount of work for the greatest effect. You'll find them to be efficient and quite creative in this. They may be useful to you in learning how to play, how to wait for the right timing, and how to do the very few important things that you must do to succeed. The Arcturians' main activity therefore appears to be one of integrating spiritual values with advanced technologies, in providing strategic advice in transforming planetary systems, and inspiring humanity with the possibilities of extraterrestrial contact. The global solutions the Arcturians contribute to include transparent and accountable global governance, integrating global financial, political and societal systems, helping humanity coordinate effectively with all extraterrestrial races, and diplomacy and conflict resolution. While there are a number of other extraterrestrial races who have been reported by whistleblowers and/or contactees, evidence points to the races examined as having most significance for humanity. The primary means of distinguishing the races above is the degree to which they participate in technology exchanges and joint projects with the shadow governments in the US and elsewhere. Those races grouped into the first category are to varying degrees part of a military-industrial extraterrestrial complex, MIEC, that secretly consumes vast resources through black budgets in the US and elsewhere, and initiates covert projects that harm private citizens, developing nations, and the global environment. In contrast, those extraterrestrial races outside of the MIEC have only minimal impact on human society since they are prevented from any large-scale interaction due to the agreements that bind together the MIEC. These agreements are either exclusive as to which races can cooperate with shadow governments, or result in races outside the agreements adopting a non-intervention policy. The systemic global problems caused by the MIEC are an increasing burden and immediate threat to human freedom and sovereignty. Continuing with the current strategic response to the extraterrestrial presence by shadow governments, plays into the hands of those extraterrestrials who wish to deprive humanity of its sovereignty and freedom. The alternative is to work with those extraterrestrials outside the MIEC that appear to have the best interests of humanity at heart. Cooperating with extraterrestrial races outside of MIEC provides an important opportunity for those private citizens who are concerned about the secret agreements between government agencies and those extraterrestrial races who are part of the MIEC. Working with extraterrestrial races whose activities lie in the realm of human emancipation, consciousness raising and conflict resolution, provide important global solutions to the harmful effect of a vast MIEC that continues to remain clandestine, non-accountable, and unrepresentative. The opportunity to address the systemic global problems caused by almost 50 years of secret agreements with extraterrestrial races lies before each individual concerned about the future of humanity and the Earth. Private citizens and small groups have the capacity to identify, find and cooperate with those extraterrestrial races that can assist in providing global solutions that lead to the liberation, consciousness raising and sovereignty of humanity. As individuals and small groups ponder the enormous challenges of working with extraterrestrial races outside of the MIEC, they might take comfort in the words of Margaret Mead, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has."